The agreement on the government bailout came after 48 hours of perhaps the most intense, cordial and productive negotiations for stakeholders in the sugar industry. What it boils down to is a $10 million bailout of the sugar industry by the government of Prime Minister Dean Barrow.
A few minutes ago, we reached agreement on a memorandum of understanding that is to be signed by the BSCFA, BSI, the SICB, the Sugar Industry Control Board, and the Government of Belize.
Under the agreement, government will take $10 million out of the Central Bank of Belize and lend it to Belize sugar industries to facilitate the 2010-2011 crop.
But of course, this is taxpayers' money. We will have to do some domestic borrowing. We will have to issue a treasury note so that we can then on-lend the funds to BSI. And while we can be far more flexible than SSB by law was allowed to be, we also have an obligation to the public to ensure that this is not going to be money simply thrown away. Thus, it was critical that we agree with BSI and with the BSCFA a way forward. We're all aware of the problems that we've had in the past. It was critical that we agree a way forward that would ensure the viability not just of the next crop, but of the industry for the future. And that required a great deal of hard bargaining.
The crisis in the sugar industry was magnified earlier this year when Belize Sugar Industries bankers pulled the plug on their line of credit. BSI first approached the Belize Social Security Board for a loan, but when the proper collateral could not be secured, government decided to step in to save the crucial sugar industry. But the government bailout does not come without strings attached. With the livelihood of 6,000 plus farmers at stake, the Prime Minister said that it is worth the risk to use taxpayers' money on the very survival of the industry. That is why strict guidelines and the targets were written into the agreement inked today in Belmopan. These include a commitment to the delivery of 1.1 million tons of sugarcane by farmers within a 30-week grinding season, the production of 110,000 tons of sugar by BSI, the implementation of a quality improvement program, establishment of a sugarcane production committee, and the implementation of a quality-based payment system. Chairman of the Committee of Management of Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, Alfredo Ortega, says that these are achievable goals and believes his membership will have no problem with them since all agree that the life of the industry is at stake.
I think today is a very historic day for the sugar industry. I thank God that we were not hit by Hurricane Richard in the north, but we were hit by a bigger hurricane, a financial problem within the sugar industry. And I would like to thank deeply in my heart on behalf of the farmers for the intervention of the Prime Minister and his government to help us rescue the sugar industry. Really, it's not only the life of 6 farmers, but it's the whole north that depend on the sugar industry. And it transcends more to the country of Belize. But really, we as farmers, we in the BSCFA as leaders, we are committed to work very closely with the SCPC and the SICB and BSI to reform within the industry. It is time for us in a no turn back point. If we do that, we are killing ourselves as an industry. We are committed to work closely and to deliver for the livelihood of our farmers and their family.
Under the agreement, BSI will aim to mill a minimum of 6,000 tons of cane daily, give the BSCFA chemist unimpeded access to the factory compound, and amend its articles of association to give the government an additional seat on the board. That will give the two government directors veto powers over expenditures that exceed $1 million. General Manager Joey Montalvo says BSI has no difficulty agreeing to these stipulations because they are a good blueprint to the future of the industry.
It is unthinkable that we could even countenance the thought of having a poor crop next year, because that would certainly be detrimental to securing the future of the sugar industry, because we have to go beyond this crop. This crop, as I said, could be our last, but we do not certainly intend it for it to be our last crop. And certainly, I am encouraged by Mr. Ortega's comments that there is that resolve and determination to act on what we are going to put our signatures, that our word is effectively our bond, and that we will take that which we've written down on paper and actually create a picture of activity that will yield the results of success and will reap those results through our efforts. Give me good quality cane, and I'm going to put that through in the mill and give you good quality sugar. Mr. Ortega mentioned sugar, a fair trade. Well, the name of the game is quality. If you give me poor quality, I can't produce a poor quality cane, I can't produce good quality sugar.
The Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, under the agreement, will work with the production committee to implement a cane quality program that will require farmers to deliver a product that has a minimum purity of 81% and a mud content of no more than 4.5%, the delivery of sugarcane within 48 hours after burning, and the delivery of at least 6,000 tons of cane daily.
We as cane farmers cannot live without a crop. And not only this crop, but it's the future of us. We are committed to work. We are committed to do all that is in our side, in our power, with the farmers. We have went along with the chemists in a round of meetings with cane farmers in regards to the quality issue, and we have had very good response.
The Prime Minister left today's agreement signing and the press conference convinced that, at least for the time being, the crisis in the sugar industry has been aborted. Now it is all up to the signatories to move the idea from black and white to reality.
This thing, the success of this enterprise, the safeguarding of the people's $10 million, as well as the lives of the cane farmers and their families, will depend completely on the resolve, the determination of the farmers and of BSI to make this thing work. It requires a different mindset completely. It requires a new flexibility on either side. It requires a willingness to come together for the common good of the industry and of this country. And while all that might seem to be self-evident, all that is exactly what has been missing in the past and what, therefore, absolutely must be put in place now. I am extremely encouraged by what happened this morning. I pray God that the directors will have success in taking this information to their membership. And I certainly feel that I can be confident in believing that this thing can and will work, and that we together will, in fact, preserve the sugarcane industry in this country. Thank you very much indeed.
Reporting for Love News, I am Patrick Jones.
Could I ask Mr. Ortega to say a few words, and after that, Mr.